guys, welcome back to another Fly Tying Friday. Tonight I have a pretty easy Euro nymph. It's a real guide fly, as they call. You can crank out a ton of these in a very short amount of time and they're super effective. So it's the sexy Walts worm, and I'll get a fresh hook in the vise here and we'll get right into it. So the hook I'm using today is a Fly Tying Source number 14 Jig Hook. It's their competition series jig hook, and it's been working really well for me. They're only like $7 for 100 of them. It's about the cheapest you can find anywhere, but they still have a nice sticky point to them. So so far so good, I can't complain. But the bead is also from Fly Tying Source. It's a 3.5 millimeter copper tungsten bead. I'm gonna come in with some 0.015 lead wire, and I'm just making about 3 turns of that. And all that's going to do is help support the bead and keep it up towards the front of the hook. Just push that lead wire up into the slot of your bead. And then I'm going to come in with some 140 ultra thread in fluorescent orange. And I'll just start right behind the lead wire. Make a little ramp and then go over that tag end of the lead wire a few times. Come back, and then that should just pop that lead wire right off there and make a nice clean connection. We're going to take our thread to the bend of the hook, and here we're going to tie in some Sulky fiber. This is like the best way I can describe it is it's a micro flashaboo, and you actually get this from craft stores. It's not really a fly tying material, but it works awesome. It's like flashaboo, but it's much thinner, as you can see, and it's actually a lot stronger. Like, it doesn't have a lot of stretch to it, so you can really crank down on this. This will be our ribbing material, and it just works extremely well. And these things come in, what is this? It's like a 200-yard spool, so they're a little pricey at about $4 to $5 a spool, depending on what color you get. This is like the clear opal color, but at 200 yards, I mean, it's gonna last you almost a lifetime, unless you're tying commercially or something, so it's a pretty good deal. There's lots of different colors of this stuff. You can get creative with it, but I've even been using this as a ribbing on some dry flies recently, and it's been working very well. So I'm just gonna come in, and capture that. Bring it back to the bend of the hook and store that out of the way. I'm going to come in with some natural hare's ear dubbing. I'm just using the straight natural colored hare's ear, and I like hare's ear because you get all those guard hair fibers and it makes a really buggy looking fly. But we're just going to spin up a dubbing noodle here, try to keep it pretty thin and make a taper up towards the bead. All right, when you have a nice taper, we're gonna take the Sulky material, and I'm going to run counterclockwise, basically counter ribbing that rib. And what that does, it helps the rib lay higher up instead of seeping into the turns of the other thread of your dubbing, basically. Just exposes that ribbing a little bit more. If you'd wrap it the other way, it would just kind of sink down in between the turns of the dubbing that you just put on. So, and basically that's it. You can get rid of some of these super long fibers if you like, but we're just going to whip finish a little collar, and I like to use orange thread, or you could use chartreuse, any other color. Red's a good color as well, and just try to make a contrasting collar out of that thread. So that is the sexy Walts worm, and you can fill up a box of these pretty darn quick, so I encourage you to give it a try. I use it as an anchor pattern for my Euro nymphing rig, so it's a pretty sweet fly. Doesn't get much easier. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on another Fly Tying Friday. God bless.